Food for thought. You are not who you truly think you are. You might be an introvert. You might be an extrovert. You might be a business person. You might be an artist. But are you really that person? Or are you really that characteristic trait? Or is this simply what feels comfortable and what it feels right? Because there's a difference between feeling comfortable and being in the right spot, in the right place in life. But then there's another perspective of feeling comfortable out of not changing. But the inside you knows something should change. And I really think a really easy example is an introvert and an extrovert, okay? Because when we typically think about and characterize an extrovert, we think of somebody who's loud, who is comfortable speaking with people, who is very talkative, somebody who likes to talk about themselves, someone who really can just get along with a lot of people. And then when we imagine somebody like an introvert, very soft-spoken, doesn't really have a lot of human interaction, doesn't really like talking with people. Yes, those characteristics are true. But that doesn't mean we can't be one or the other or both. And that is what I'm saying is, it is never too late to change your identity and change who you are. Because you can wear so many different hats if you think about it. If you think of different parents, they have careers, they have a child, and they have their own life and their own friends. And it's so easy to forget about that. To forget that you can wear so many different hats and different people you can be. And in that center of who you think you are, you do not have to stay that person your entire life. There are so many people out there who have changed what they wanted to do, who have become different people than they would have expected. And that's just how it goes. And I'm honestly just trying to learn and keeping an open eye and an open mind of seeing how different people got to their career. And that there is not a right or wrong way to get somewhere. And that your identity is supposed to change because you are changing and have changed. Because you are not the same person that you were 10 years ago, nor 5, and probably especially not 1. And even to think about it from the perspective of who you are now, the mindset that you're in right now, how you feel, how you think, how the people around you. Are you the same person you were a month ago, 30 days ago? Because if that answer is no, or if that answer is yes, those are both valid answers. And you don't have to overextend yourself in a sense of trying to understand and put all the pieces together of what you should do and who you should become. Because doors will open and doors will close from the from the standpoint of what is coming next after one after the other. Because right now, for me at least, it's a big time of change. And I think it goes kind of hand in hand with seasons. That seasons are here. You and I are here. And if you think about it, seasons change slowly. You usually don't, okay, I can say this 100%. You don't have your seasons change from one day being 60, 70 degrees to the next day being freezing cold, snowing blizzard. Because that's just not how the world works. That's not how the weather works. That's just like, I don't know any example that has that happen, okay? And the point of that is that you change slowly. Or no. The weather changes slowly. And that is also expected out of you, naturally. That you are going to change slowly. And sometimes that change is going to be a lot quicker and might feel like winter and summer the next day after one another. Or it might feel like the seasons change as one month passes and another one occurs and another season goes by. And sometimes you think one is better than the other. A change is better when it's fast, or a change is better when it's slow. But both have a time and a place and a reason for everything. We might not know what that reason is, but it's there and it's ever changing. And within that change, you are allowed to become someone different. You are allowed to try different things. You're allowed to try new foods. Like, just think about it. Like, you're allowed to try new foods. So then why don't you allow yourself to try different attributions, like different skills? Because let's say a really introverted person is used to being introverted and they feel safe being to themselves. And when they try to become an extrovert, it's very hard. It's very awkward because you aren't used to doing that. That is why. And for example, if an extrovert is trying to be more inward and trying to be more comfortable with themselves instead of hanging around all these people, and they try to be introverted or try to have more alone time, it feels weird. It feels awkward. They don't know what to do. And it's like you can find a happy balance. Sometimes you might prefer to be more an extrovert or an introvert more than the other. But I think it's so valuable to be able to lean into both sides of either skill. This is just like one example of extroverted and introverted. But you do not have to label yourself as one or the other. And one is most for certain gonna feel more comfortable than the other because that is what you are used to. And that is how you feel safe. And one is not better than the other because time and place and situation. But allow yourself to try out both and to work on both of those characteristics and skills that are built within that or are underneath that word umbrella. Like I was saying, this side. Introverts. Thank you. Introverts. Introverts are very comfortable being by themselves when some extroverts aren't. And maybe sometimes they can, or you can try to have some more alone time. And vice versa. Maybe you can try to have some more social time. And there's nothing wrong with that. You are not gonna be expected to be very introverted and then go automatically to having 10 million friends. And the same goes for you are not supposed to be Miss or Mr. or there. Sorry, I really don't know. But anyways, they're outgoing, bubbly person that has 10 million friends, all the way going to being comfortable to a long time. For hours on end, you know? That is just simply not how it works. And we don't expect that out of nature. And so we shouldn't expect that out of ourselves because we are allowed to change slowly, just how the seasons go. And even though it might feel a lot, it'll be okay. You and I have made it this far. And it has been a journey. And if you weren't supposed to be here right now, you wouldn't. So just trust that you are meant to be here. Trust in perfect timing, because it is truly present within both of our lives. Food for thought.